Hey, this is Travis New with the Random Commuter. Thanks for joining me on my way to work, and let's get going. Last night we had the first serious talk about an acquisition of an electric vehicle. We started talking dollars and cents. Big bright light. I think, geez, don't quote me on this, because terms are subject to change. I mean, if you haven't noticed, I'm still driving the world's biggest truck, so something's got to be done. So the Chevy Bolt is currently, for the price range we're talking, because I do work for a living, we in that 38, topping out at 40,000 range, right? So the Chevy Bolt has actual range. It is what it is, but it's got the 0 to 60, and not that I'm sitting there going, oh, I just have to have that 0 to 60 and be thrust in the back of the seat. That might be cool, but I don't know if that's the reason to buy a Commuter, So then in 2-3 years time, guess what might be widely available? Model 3, baby! How am I doing on gas? I almost said that I wouldn't give a crap about gas if I was driving an electric vehicle. Well, you're giving a crap about whatever's driving your car, So there's that. So we had this weird snowstorm. Not a snowstorm, it just snowed. I don't know why the sun's like right in my face. Am I well lit? So I had this snowstorm. It's like kind of this rain, packed all this snow on top of cars, right? And so I go out in the morning, I turn the car on to heat it up, run the defogger, and so there's that layer of melt, right? But the snow is like this thick. It's just a block of like this, not ice, but just kind of like a packed snow block. What was that? It seemed like an important message. And so I just kind of shove it all aside and it all just kind of falls off. And that's cool. But as I was driving, the snow kind of comes down over my roof. And so I'm seeing it up here and I'm like, oh, well, I want to get rid of that. I hit the windshield wiper, but it's so compact and dense that the right windshield wiper blade tags it. I hear this thunk, and as it's coming back, just breaks the blade right off, just flips it and just shoots it into the next lane. I'm like, oh shit. Which is odd that it wasn't on one of these episodes. That seems like something this episode would have caught. Am I getting a late start or something? Ow. That's right, vernal equinox. Got it. I got it. Days are getting longer. Speaking of which, let's see what's on the radio. Get you up inside, baby, don't. If you ever feel that way, of the tiger. Care who you are. You listen to that song getting ready for work, you are going to conquer the day. You are going to say, this day is going to be awesome. And do you know why? Because I've got the eye of the tiger. This is guy in the middle of the road. What are you doing? Oh. He's spraying something and he has a reflective vest on, so he's being safe. I thought he was just a random guy sweeping up cigarette butts. It's amazing what we see in everyday life. Was that red? No. So that was cool. What else we got? Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Come on. Do the thing.
And no time I'll be forgetting all about you. You saying that you know, but I really, really doubt you. Understand my life is easy when I ain't around you. Biggie to be his present. So come on, Virginia, show me sign. Send up a signal, I'll hold you in line. Stay fast, you hiding behind. Never lives in the sun. Darling, only the good die.
This person in front of me is trying not to look at me, like, as if that's not perfectly acceptable to watch somebody rock out in another car. It's fine. What am I gonna do? Get pissed? That doesn't make any damn sense. You know it's time to clean out the car when you hear a lot of shit rattling around in the back every time you make a move. Why is everybody out on the road? I feel like I'm an hour late for work or something. I'm totally within my time. Because only the good die young. This might be a radio listening podcast. But I do feel compelled to tell you some news of the day. I saw on my Flipboard that unfortunately somebody was tragically injured by an Uber car that's being tested for autonomous driving. I hate it when this stuff happens. What? Oh. A good confidant of mine is editing my LinkedIn article that I just posted on the... I post the transcript basically of the BA for Space show that I do, and while I think I've had ample opportunity to edit it since I rehearsed it, I'm reading it off of a teleprompter, I don't catch everything. But fortunately, I have a confidant who is perfectly willing to point out everything that I've done wrong just with the article. And I respect that. I want it. It's a good thing. I just saw a Tesla Model X. I don't know if it's the same one as I've been seeing, but I am keeping track of them. So my buddy at work, we were talking about the Model X, and he says he was driving with his wife and they see one on the highway. I don't know if I've told this story before. I'm gonna tell it again because that's kind of how I roll. But he says, see that car? She's like, yeah. He's like, that's probably the fastest car on the road right now. She's like, really? It's like, yeah. So he starts going over the details. It's, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It's a fast freaking car, although it doesn't look like it. It looks like any other boring crossover. And don't call that car an SUV. To me, SUV implies four-wheel drive, which Model X does have. But you're not taking that thing 4x. And yes, that does go for the Escalade and possibly Hummers. I know people take Hummers 4x, but that's not the first thing you're going to do. I remember this guy I used to hang out with got a brand new Rubicon. Brand new. You know what he did when we took that thing 4x? He was out in front moving rocks, okay? So, people get weird about their new cars that cost $30,000 to $40,000. So anyway, I relayed this story to my wife, and I'm trying to put it in the same context. I'm like, that's probably the fastest car on this road. She goes, you know what I would have said? I was like, what? She says, yeah, I know, because you won't shut up about it. I actually don't even like that song. I'm serious, I don't like it. I know it's a classic, but I don't like it.
Kelly Clarkson released a video for her song I Don't Think About.
I like this. Yeah, this is from a previous episode. Yeah, I don't need to do that again. I had to do what I call is a email backpedal yesterday. So this fellow coworker, you know, I totally respect him. I like him. Comes up and says, "Hey, you know, can you do this?" Because he says, "Can you do this process map for me? That's very easy for me. I do it very quickly, high quality, all that stuff, right?" So I have to be careful with that. I mean, if it's just going to take me a couple minutes and I'm not assigned to him, you know, I have to be very careful about how much time I take away from other things. But in this case, I have this other colleague, and she does really nice process maps, and I think she's efficient with it, very quick and all that. Anyway, so I'm writing up this email to him. I'm like, hey, you should contact this, you know, this other person and have her do it. I've seen her maps and they look great. And I typed it, I looked at it, and I said, I'm not sending that. Just, yeah, don't do it. Just, if you're thinking it, somebody else is thinking it. That's all I'm saying about that. So, don't do it. So, I hit the backspace and said, may I recommend this person? That was it. Keep it simple, keep it sweet, keep it clean, stay out of trouble. What's this guy getting out of his car for? Was he trying to get a hold of me? Everything cool? I never know if someone's gonna be like getting out of their car to yell at me, and what is he doing? Oh, he's screwing with the guy behind him. Okay. Oh, he's way behind me. It's because he was distracted and screwing around with the person behind him. Well, this is such a weird time of the year. See, now it's too hot. All right, let's see what's on the radio. Hell yeah.
Mix 100 is like...
Nope, I did not know. Oh no! That was just a red light situation. It wasn't like I was getting ready to smoke someone. I'm in a big truck, so it's like... Can't wait for that regenerative braking, huh? Oh, green light, go. Well, thanks so much for joining me on my way to work. If you like that, hit subscribe. Also hit like, put some comments down, keep the conversation rolling on all the things that Travis says on his way to work. And you know what? If you didn't like that, don't spoil it for everyone. You know what I mean? You know?